Imagine you're chatting with an AI assistant, asking it to book a hotel, plan a trip, or find a restaurant. As that conversation unfolds, the platform learns a great deal about you. This raises a fascinating economic question. When and how should the platform show you an advertisement? Today, we explore a paper called Ads in Conversations, which studies the optimal placement of ads in conversational AI platforms. Platforms like Perplexity.ai have already started experimenting with ads in their chatbot conversations. Unlike a static search results page, a conversation evolves over time, and that evolution is deeply informative. As a user asks more questions, the platform gets a clearer picture of which ads they're likely to click on. This creates a fundamentally new dimension absent in traditional ad auctions: time. Here's the core tension the paper identifies. The platform can delay showing an ad to gather better information about which ad is a good match for this user. Better information means a higher quality allocation and more revenue from the winning advertiser. But delay is costly in a subtle way. As the platform learns that some advertisers are a bad fit, those advertisers drop out of contention. The competitive pool thins, and with less competition, the platform earns less. The model has a platform selling one ad slot to one of two advertisers over the course of a conversation. Each advertiser's value depends on two things: how much they'd gain from a click and whether this particular user would actually click, the ad quality score. Quality is unknown at the start, but is gradually revealed through the conversation. The platform commits to an auction format up front, but cannot commit to exactly when the auction will run. The platform tracks its belief about each advertiser's quality over time. This belief, call it mu, is the probability that a user would click on advertiser I's ad, conditioned on everything the platform has observed in the conversation so far. At the start, both advertisers share the same prior probability P. As the conversation unfolds, these beliefs update, and the platform uses them to decide when to run the auction. The paper uses a specific and elegant model for how beliefs update, the bad news Poisson model. Silence is good news. It means the platform hasn't yet ruled out that an advertiser is a good fit. Then, at a random moment, a negative signal can arrive, an event that immediately reveals the ad is a bad match. Until that signal arrives, the platform's confidence in the advertiser grows steadily. This model captures the idea that relevance is confirmed by the absence of contradicting evidence. Now let's look at the platform's revenue optimization problem. In a second price auction, the platform wants to maximize the expected minimum of the two quality-weighted bids. This is what the platform collects from the winner. The key mathematical insight here is that the minimum of two martingales is a super martingale. Its expected future value is always at most its current value. So waiting can only hurt. Because the revenue process is a super martingale in the second price case, the optimal stopping time is immediately time zero. The platform runs the auction at the very start of the conversation before learning anything. The logic is stark. In a second price auction, competition is everything. The moment one advertiser is revealed to be a bad match, competition collapses and the ad could be given away essentially for free. The platform avoids this risk by acting immediately. The first price auction behaves in the opposite way. The platform's revenue in this format is the maximum of the two quality-weighted bids. The maximum of martingales is a submartingale. Its expected future value is always at least as high as its current value, so the platform always wants to wait longer. In fact, the optimal stopping time in a first price auction is to wait until only one advertiser remains in the running. So the first price auction leads the platform to delay until the conversation has identified the best advertiser, achieving an efficient allocation. But this comes at a cost to the advertisers. They anticipate the delay and shade their bids aggressively because they know the platform will only run the auction when one of them is the clear winner. The revenue consequence is striking. The second price auction can generate arbitrarily more revenue than the first price auction. The revenue ratio between the two formats is captured by a clean formula. The second price auction earns 1 over mu0 times the first price auction revenue, where mu0 is the prior probability that any given ad is a good match. Since this probability is less than 1, the ratio is greater than 1. The second price auction dominates. and if the prior is very small, the ratio can be arbitrarily large. Now, here comes the paper's most surprising result. Introducing optimal reserve prices completely flips the revenue ordering. With a reserve price, the first price auction implements the revenue optimal mechanism. The key insight is that the optimal allocation should go to the bidder with the highest quality weighted virtual value. And the first price auction, with the right reserve, achieves exactly this, while also maintaining the strategy of waiting for full information. With reserve prices, the revenue ordering reverses completely. The first price auction with the optimal reserve price achieves at least the revenue of the second price auction with any reserve. In fact, the first price auction with optimal reserve implements the globally optimal mechanism, even beating any mechanism with full commitment to timing. The reserve price acts as a backstop that reduces the platform's fear of market thinning. Why can't the second price auction do the same? The problem is commitment. Even with a reserve price, the platform running a second price auction will sometimes have an incentive to deviate and run the auction early. The reserve price does not fully solve the market thinning problem in the second price format. The first price auction with the optimal reserve is unique in being both revenue maximizing and sequentially rational. The platform never wants to deviate from waiting. The results extend naturally beyond two advertisers. With end competitors, the second price auction still stops earlier than the first price auction, point-wise across all realizations of the news process. The more advertisers there are, the more dramatic the difference in timing. And the Hamilton-Jacobi-Bellman equation governing the optimal stopping boundary shows interesting threshold behavior depending on the relative sizes of the bids. The paper also considers what happens when information acquisition has a direct cost. For instance, because the user might leave the platform at any moment. Even with discounting, the second price auction still stops immediately. The first price auction now has a more nuanced stopping rule. Wait until either a clock ticks revealing bad news or until the belief reaches a specific threshold that balances the cost of waiting against the benefit of better information. Let's step back and look at the big picture. The paper's results are summarized in a clean table. Without reserve prices, second price auctions act immediately and generate more revenue, while first price auctions delay but earn less due to bid shading. With optimal reserve prices, first price auctions implement the globally optimal mechanism, flipping the revenue ranking. The format choice profoundly shapes both efficiency and timing of ad delivery. The insights here extend well beyond chatbot advertising. The same trade-off between market thickness and information quality arises in mergers and acquisitions. Should buyers perform due diligence before or after a winner is selected? And in public procurement, should government agencies audit all suppliers before the auction or just the winner afterward? In both cases, front-loading information gathering thins the competitive pool but improves selection quality. To wrap up, this paper shows that time is a genuinely new strategic variable in conversational AI advertising. The platform's choice of auction format, first price or second price, determines not just how much advertisers pay, but when the ad appears and how much information is gathered first. Without reserve prices, second price auctions earn more, but sacrifice efficiency. With the right reserve price, first price auctions dominate. For platforms planning to monetize through ads, these dynamic forces deserve careful attention.